Hello, hello, hello. Check out this music I have.
Feeling brand new, ready to conquer the world. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Got my wisdom, my awareness, my vision aligned. Gonna ride the wave, let my spirit shine. Oh yeah, shine. I'm riding the wave, my soul fly free. Trusting my wisdom, raising my energy. I'm on a journey, finding out who I can be. Riding the wave, embracing my destiny.
Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? How are you doing? Welcome to another day. Today is Thriving Thursday, and we have a special guest with us. I know you want to know who that special guest is, and I'm going to share that with you in just one moment. But having a great day. Welcome to another day. The more we know, the more we grow. Everyone knows that, and we are thriving in here, speaking with people who are helping other people thrive. So, our special guest today is Damika Wesley. Okay, she is a lifestyle transformation coach. She's helping others boost their confidence, conquer their goals, and develop better habits. Let's show some love for Damika as she entered the room. Hello, Damika. Hello. How are you today?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me on, TammyRenee. I truly
Oh,
appreciate the opportunity.
well, thank you for coming on and keeping me company. How about that?
You are welcome.
Yes. So I am so happy to have you here with us today. Why don't you share a little bit about who you are and your business?
Absolutely. As you said, my name is Damika Wesley. I am a lifestyle transformation coach. I help with habits, routines, and shifting your mindset, which is my passion. My company is Evolve Coaching, and we have one on one coaching services, we have success support services, and we just launched a second part of the company, which is Evolve Elements, where we offer digital journals and planners.
Evolve Elements. We got some digital journals. So that's something they can download and be able to actually write on it? Or is it digitally you writing on it also?
You download it, and then depending on how you want to do it, you can either print it out or use a different software to write directly on it.
All right, digital planners. Y'all hear that? Digital planners. I love it. So let me know. Tell me about tell me about your mind shift that you were telling me about, or how it played a significance in your resilience.
Absolutely. Like most people, I have been through many challenges throughout my life. But what happened was I was able to overcome those challenges a little bit different once I developed a resilient mindset. When you're resilient, you're able to bounce back from things quicker. So of course you can achieve your goals and or be able to get through things just a little bit quicker instead of sitting back dwelling in whatever the obstacle or setback is that's happening in your life. So I went from somebody who may have had a setback where I just sat in it. I was stressed out, I worried, anxiety built up, and I went to somebody who looked at the obstacle a little bit different. I looked at it as a learning, as something I could learn from and grow from. So when I shifted my mindset on how I looked at the obstacle, it allowed me to get through it just a little bit easier. I didn't have the anxiety, I didn't have the worry, I didn't have the stress. And when I face those obstacles now, I'm able to say, okay, I've been here before. I know I can get through this again. So being resilient and able to bounce back quickly from something helps me to grow a lot faster, and it allows me to accomplish the goals that I've set for myself quicker.
Yep. So you really had that mind shift just listening to a different perspective, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And that's
Okay.
important. How we perceive challenges determines how we face them.
Mm-hmm.
Are are we going to look at the negative aspect of it, and is that what we're going to focus on? Because what we focus on grows. So we can sit and focus on the negative side of it, and that's what's going to grow. That's what's going to stay in our mind constantly, day in and day out. Or I can look at the positivity of it. Yes, while this may hinder me just slightly, it's not going to stop me. I'm still going to keep pushing forward, and I'm going to learn from this so that when it comes up again, because a lot of the times we face the same challenges over and over again. Now I'm not facing that same challenge from the very beginning. I have some tools that I've stored away from the last time that's going to help me get over this just a little bit quicker each time it comes up.
Hmm. So, when you were talking about the challenges when they come up, not facing them or learning from them, that's where you get into that cycle. That's where you keep repeating, and it may even look different until you really into it. And you need to find the correlation between the two is where your lesson lies. Because again, if we don't face those challenges and we don't learn those lessons, we've been given lessons for a reason. I do believe that. And yep. And then you need to learn those lessons in order to build that resilience, like she said, so that you can keep moving forward and getting over that hump. Because resilience is very powerful, very powerful.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Having that resilient mindset is going to help you accomplish so much in life versus having more of a fixed mindset.
Right, right. So you mentioned to me something about some key, what was it? Key challenges to overcoming. How did you word that for me? Reword that for me.
It is the key to overcoming challenges. And if you haven't figured it out by now, it's your mindset. Your mindset is the key to overcoming any obstacles, any challenge, anything that's getting in your way. Your mindset is the key to it. So you can have a fixed mindset or you can have a growth mindset. And it's all up to you. But whichever mindset you do have is going to determine how you're able to overcome the challenges that come your way.
Yep, I definitely, definitely, definitely agree with that aspect of it. Um, because I've had to change my mindset about a lot of things as I've been going through my healing journey. But again, when you get to those challenges that once held you back, it's like drinking a glass of water. Just swallow it and keep going, right?
Absolutely. Some stuff now I look at and I smile about, and I'm like, okay, I know it's here. I have to deal with it, but I deal with it from a different mindset. I deal with it from a different place in my life than where I used to be. So
Right.
now you just, okay, it is. It's part of life. We can't avoid them. So why should we think of it in a negative way? Why should we dwell on the negative aspects of it when we can smile about it? We can look at it from a positive standpoint. And then we can, as we said, you can learn and grow from them because they're going to happen. You can't avoid them.
Right, right. Because again, I do believe we're giving challenges for a reason to make us not only just stronger, but there's something in that challenges is where we are probably need to give back, where we need to help others succeed and thrive, right? Because we helping people thrive through our business as a transformation coach, and I'm a transformation coach too, personal discovery transformation coach. But as a transformation coach, you like to see for those people to go through that mindset, so that mind shift, so when they're done with working with you, they don't go backwards. Because sometimes it can be easy to get into a program, but if you haven't changed your mind, once you out of that program, you can go back to doing what you were doing and then think, well, it didn't help me because you didn't change your mindset. Hmm.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
But can you tell us a little bit about your journey and what led you to this type of work?
Yes. So I was it's been a few years now when I first started on the journey, but I was running a couple different businesses. And what I have found was I was totally stressed out. I was trying to wear too many hats all at one time, and I had a panic attack one day.
Mm.
Yes. So it led me to therapy, which I didn't the therapist that I had at the time, we didn't like kind of resonate with each other, I should say, relate to one another. So I stopped going to therapy, took some of the lessons that I had learned and kept moving forward. I was getting by, but what I didn't realize was I wasn't dealing with a lot of stuff and I was just pushing it down until one day
Mhm.
it just exploded and my panic attacks were back again. So I
Wow.
had to put everything on a back burner and focus on me. And that began my major transformation where I had to really find out who I was outside of being a daughter, a mother, a wife, wearing all of these different hats, but I needed to figure out who Damika was.
Mhm.
So in doing that, it brought up a lot of past trauma that I had. So I went through some programs that allowed me to help not to push the trauma down anymore, but
Mhm.
to understand that it happened. I can't change it, but what I can change is the way that I look at it. And
Mhm.
it was that shift in my mindset that allowed me to be able to start to talk about the trauma, be open and upfront with it. I shared it with my family, I shared it with my husband, my children, and it was like this big weight released off of me. So since I've made that transformation, I don't have the attacks like I used to have. I don't stress like I used to. I don't worry. I don't have the anxiety like I used to. So something as small, but it's so big and powerful was just shifting the way I looked at things. It was shifting my mindset, transforming from who I used to be to who I am now. And that's
Mhm.
and I want that for other people. So that's how I got into being a lifestyle transformation coach.
Mhm. You made a comment and you said that you was pushing it down, and I can relate to that because sometimes when you're going through a healing process before you get into the deep work where you know that where that second incident happened, where that incident happened and be like, oh, something ain't right, before that we push it down, and sometimes we even think that we dealt with it because we're hiding it from ourselves. We
And
don't even let ourselves know we are still got all of this going in here, and we're just going around and we working and we doing whatever we got to do, and sometimes can be happy, but are we truly happy? Because you start to get into a, what we call it, you start living for others, is what I how I would phrase it. So for me, example, I would do everything to please everybody else because I didn't know how to make me happy. So that is very, very true. How we push those down and we just kind of think everything's okay and we dealt with it. So let's keep moving. But really, when you deal with it, you know when you deal with it is this gonna break you down. I was surprised on how much stuff came up for me too when I was doing exactly what you was doing. It'd be funny if we were doing it at the same time. That'd be way cool. That
yes.
would
Well,
be so cool.
yes.
Um, so what was I gonna say? So I do understand that. And then the other thing is, how do you actually help your clients work through these things? What are some of the tools you give them, or how do you work with your clients in helping them go through the transformation?
So it's first one helping them to open up. Because a lot of times we want to say the things that we want somebody else to hear. So it's just getting them to understand that it's not about what I want to hear, but it's about what they want to share and what they want to open up about and what's going to help them to heal. So that's the first step, is getting them to open up. And once they open up, then we can find out what the root cause of their whatever their problem or issue is that's holding them back. So once we can understand a root cause, then we can start to heal from that. And it's not dwelling on the root cause, but it's recognizing it so that we can then move past it
Mhm.
as far as acknowledging it, knowing that it happened, embracing it because it's a part of who you are. You'll never get rid of it, but just shifting how you look at it. So shifting to a positive view of it versus having that negative view of it. And once you're able to do all of that, then it's unlearning all of those bad habits that we've had that keeps us from being able to move forward because our daily habits form who we are.
Mhm.
So if I can get you to change your thinking, because our thinking has a direct impact on our behaviors, and I can get you to then shift some of your unhealthy habits into more positive habits, you'll come up with a amazing daily routine.
Mhm.
And that's what we want because we don't want to focus on the goal, which most people try to focus on. It's not about the goal, it's the steps that it takes to get to their goal. So if
Mhm.
we can work on their daily routine where we're putting it on autopilot so that they don't even have to think about it. And one day they're going to wake up and the goals that they've set for themselves, they're going to be like, oh, I achieved that. But they didn't even have to think about it along the journey.
I love that. I love that. So I do a 3 by 3 goal setting, and like you, I um I don't know if this is like you, but the whole goal setting kind of used to throw me off. Like, why are we so focused on the goal? Even though my workshop is called 3 by 3 goal setting, we actually look at your core values and we align your actions with that, and you will achieve your goal. So we kind of doing something similar there. I just call mine 3 by 3, and there's a reason why, but I agree with the goal setting, doing things that align with you, changing your lifestyle. And as long as you're doing those that connect with your goal, like if you want to be, let's say you want to be an astronaut, hypothetically, that's your goal, to be an astronaut. You're not gonna go get a job at a train, on the train. You know what I'm saying? You might do other things, like maybe we're going to do some volunteer work with NASA, or that those habits that you start to align with your goals. Yep. So
Absolutely.
I love the way that you think about goals. So we on the
Yes,
same page there.
we
I
are.
love that.
And I
I
do believe that it has to align with your core values.
mhm,
And your personal and your business have to align. And
exactly.
if any of those are out of sync, it's not going to work because you're going to be pulling and tugging at one versus the other. When you can have all three of those aligned, that's when you can reach success.
Right. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. Um, is there anything that you would give advice to people who are looking for a transformation coach, or they're on the border of working with a transformational coach, or they want to transform their lives but they don't know where to begin? What advice would you give them?
Absolutely. So the first thing is you already, if you have that thought in your mind, you already know that you need help. And with anything, we can't do it by ourselves. And when we try, we may be able to get 2 steps forward, but we always get knocked back 4. Having somebody who has been there before or has experience and knowledge helps to take you along the journey just a little bit smoother. Number one, but also when make sure that you can relate to your transformation coach. As I said, I went to therapy the first time and I didn't get anything out of it except for a couple techniques because I just couldn't relate with the therapist. So
Mhm.
making sure that you can relate with a person, because if you can't, you're not going to open up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do discovery calls prior to having somebody sign up for my service, because I want to make sure that they're the type of person that I can work with. And it also gives them an opportunity to see if I'm the type of person that they can work with. So we're kind of like interviewing one another during the discovery call.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I tell people it's nothing wrong with having a therapist and a coach at the same time, because we focus on different things. As I said, I'm going to focus on getting to the root cause, but that's not going to be where we stay at. It happened. We know it happened. You're going to embrace it, and we're going to move forward. Your therapist is going to dig a little bit deeper into that cause. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking beyond the cause. I'm helping you from where you are now. So
Mm-hmm.
some people think that a coach and a therapist are kind of one and the same. So I make sure that people understand that they are two different industries and they're there for two different reasons. And then
Mm-hmm.
once we get past all of those logistic things, then the fun starts, because you actually get to put in the work and you start to see the outcome from the work that you put in. And I get to be there when they have those obstacles and when they have those setbacks, to show them exactly how to navigate through, around them, or over them, to help them with building the new habits that they're going to be forming, and building that resilience that they're going to be building throughout the program that they're in with me.
Mm-hmm. I want to touch on just a few things that you mentioned to back that up. When she said working with a therapist and a coach isn't the same thing, it truly isn't, because, like you, I had therapists too. So when Damika mentioned that, make sure that you resonate with whoever you're working with, is going to give you better results. I also had a therapist at first, and I didn't resonate. So I stopped going. And I stopped going for a while because I was like, well, she ain't really do nothing for me, I'm just gonna get going. But when I actually started going through my deeper healing, I had a therapist I worked with, and it was and I had a coach. So it is two different. The therapist will actually help you deal more with those emotions, and your coach is going to help you move forward. Would you
Absolutely.
agree with that? I would agree
Absolutely
with.
agree.
Mhm. And so one of the things when you say that moving forward, not staying in that pain all the time, I know some people, from what I see on the internet, they like to push that pain. They like to go back to the childhood wounds and go back and let's visit that and stay there. I don't agree with that, because like you said, it happened. And I also say, to back that up, is I have no regrets with everything that's happened to me, because I wouldn't be who I am. I would
I
not be this person. So I have no regrets. I have no like anger or mad that something happens, because I wouldn't be who I am.
I totally agree. I have no regrets in anything that I've done in my life. I wouldn't change a thing, because, like you said, if we did, we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't be who we are. So I have no regrets. And you were mentioning, you were touching on something that I had said, and I don't like to dwell on past pain or trauma, things like that, because what happens is, and people don't even realize it, you ever seen someone who's just angry all the time? And
Mhm.
what they not realizing is they're angry from something that could have happened 10 years ago. But what they didn't realize was, because they didn't deal with that emotion back then, that every time something triggers that trauma or that experience from 10 years ago, their mind relates back to that. So it
Mhm.
automatically gives them the emotion of anger or pain, when they need to deal with that or they're going to constantly have that trigger and be angry at just little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen where, and I know before I shifted, I could go to work and something happened, and now I'm just angry at work all day long. I get home and I think everything is fine. I done left it at work. I'm cooking dinner, and then the moment something happens, I'm instantly angry and upset again. And I don't even realize that it had nothing to do with exactly what just happened. That came from work 8, 10 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't deal with it, if we don't learn how to manage our different emotions, these are the things that happen. And when we look, we're holding on to unhealthy emotions from 10, 15, and 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm. And then you wonder why we walk around and we mad for we don't know what reason. You mad for no reason. That's where that come from. You mad for no reason. Like,
Yes, and it's the
because the
truth.
reason why you're mad, you can fix. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You can fix it.
Yeah.
So, yes. So, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Let it go. Actually, uh let go and let God. And I live by that daily. If it's something that I cannot change, I'm letting it go. I'm not dwelling on the
Mm-hmm.
things that I can't change. For what? I can't change them. The things that I
Mm-hmm.
can change, I'm going to look at it, as I said, in a positive way. What can I learn from this? How can I deal with this? I'm going to make a plan and I'm going to keep pushing forward.
Right.
What happens to us, we can't change. Time does not go backwards. You can only move forward. So you have the option to either move forward with a positive attitude, or you have the option to move forward with a negative attitude. But the choice is yours.
The choice is yours. And who wouldn't want to be happy, right? I guess some people
Absolutely.
might like to stay in that mean energy, but that's because they haven't felt the happiness yet. Because once you feel that joy and you feel that happiness and all that feel good, you don't want to go back that way. You like, I ain't got time for that. Like, no, take that somewhere else, right?
Absolutely. I was going through this traumatic experience last June, and everybody around me like, how are you so calm? How are you handling this like this? Why would I want to go through it and be this angry, upset, bitter type of person when I can go through this with a smile on my face, knowing that I'm going to get over this? I'm going to make it out on the other end and everything's going to be fine. So it's just
Mhm.
all on how you look at things and how you carry it.
hmm I actually have one more question I want to ask you. It just popped in my head because I know probably when people are going through a transformation, this particular thing I'm going to bring up, everybody's going to experience it. And I do believe everybody will experience this. I experienced it. And it's when what advice would you share to someone who is going through their transformation journey and then they have family and friends who are pushing back? They're like, no way, you cannot change. I need you to still be that naive person that just give me everything I want. Give me, bark at run at my bark. They want you to stay the same because they don't have that control over you, or you not benefiting them like they want to be benefited. What advice would you give? Because that is something that is real and it's big, and everybody who's going to go through a transformation, I do believe they will experience that to some degree.
I agree. I believe pretty much everybody who goes through it will experience it. Sometimes we grow apart, and it's nothing wrong with that. And you have to know where they fit at in your life on your journey. Everybody is not going to be able to come with you. And it's not saying that we just dismiss our family or we dismiss the friends that we've had, but you may have to change your circle.
Mhm.
You may have to deal with them less, a little bit less. So, where you spent every weekend with those people, you may have to now spend once a month with them. You may see them once a quarter, and that's okay. But you have to remember why you're on your transformation journey to begin with, and that it's about you and not everybody else. And you have to set boundaries with them. And it's difficult in the beginning, but you have to stick to those boundaries. If not, then they won't stick to them because you've allowed them to cross boundaries for years. So they're just used to what they're been able to do in your life. So you have to be consistent now in putting up those boundaries and communicating it with them. And if they love you enough, then they'll respect it. And if they don't, then they don't belong on the journey with you anyway.
Mm-hmm. I got a little short add to that boundary, which you just talked about. So on my journey, when I was setting up boundaries, I was being accused of putting up walls. And I had to go back and talk to my therapist. And I'm like, okay, this is what happened. But they saying I've got walls up. But I actually had boundaries because, again, they didn't even know any boundaries. So those walls, those boundaries I was setting up at first looked like walls to them because they had a wall. It was a wall to them. It was a boundary to me because I don't. To me, when you set up walls, there's a difference. You blocking all your emotions. So I still stayed open to being around you. I still stayed open to conversations. I still stayed open to loving you, just like probably more than I was before because I'm loving myself. But when they said that, I was cracking up in my head. I'm like, they don't even know the difference. Don't even know the difference. So that's something, if you're going through the journey, really learn the difference between walls and boundaries, because sometimes people think they may say set up boundaries, but they're putting up walls. And that wall is what stops your stuff from coming in, stops the energy from coming in, stops all the good from coming in and you putting out. When you got a boundary, you're still able to do that. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I agree. And
Mhm.
throughout your transformation journey, we help you take down the walls that you've put up and
Mhm.
replace those walls with boundaries so that you can still, like you said, protect your energy. You're not blocking it, you're protecting your energy with the new boundaries you're putting in place for different people. And I believe
Mhm.
you need to have boundaries for everybody, all your relationships, no matter what it is.
Except for grandbabies.
I can agree. I can agree.
Except for grandbabies.
No, that
No,
smile on their face,
you
it just
right. You gotta have them for them too, but they ain't gotta start right away. Maybe when they get a little older, but yeah.
yes.
So, so I would like to know more about your journals that you got that are digitals. Let us know how to find those. Where do we download them at? And give us a little bit more information about your digital things that you got coming out.
Yes. So I have it's called the Ultimate Self-Care Guide. That one is where I would say start at. It is going to help you with everything self-care. When I say it's skincare, makeup routines, it's your habits, it's your water, your exercise. This one is geared mainly towards women. It's tracking your menstrual cycle. Anything that you can think of that involves self-care is in this planner.
Wow, I gotta get that.
Yes. And all of them are only $4.99. And you can go to the site. It's STAN dot store /evolve elements. And evolve does not have a O in it. It's ELV. I spelled that totally wrong. It's EVLVE elements. So it's stand.store/evolve elements. And that's where you can find all of my journals and my planners. And I highly recommend starting with the Ultimate Self Care Planner.
I mean, 4.99.
$4.99, not bad at all.
Phone that five. That's cheaper than a cup of coffee.
Yes, it is. And
It's
it's going to
cheaper
help
than
you a lot more than that cup of coffee is going to help you. It's going to be
right.
a
It's
temporary
going
fix.
right. The coffee is just a temporary, like 15-minute fix, maybe. I don't know.
Yes.
But that self-care guide for $4.99, people, you gotta go get that. It's only $4.99. So when we get off this line, make off this live, make sure you drop that link in the comments so that people can easy whoever, because people will be watching this later or whenever they're watching it, so that they can go on there and click that. And I'm glad that you said it, because when it goes on the live podcast, people will hear it. So if you are here with me, I cannot see any comments. I can tell people have dropped in, but I cannot see any comments today. So make sure you say, hey, how you doing? Hello, what's up in the comments. Leave any questions that you may have for Damika to answer. She would be more than happy to come back and answer those for you. And if you are catching this replay, you know what to do. Hit hashtag replay. All right, so I love the journal idea. $5.99. I mean, not even $5.99, $4.99, not even $5. You need to get that. Go visit. Where can they find you on social media and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Do you have any of all that?
I have every last one of those. You can find me at either Damika Wesley or at Evolve Coaching. As I said before, there's no O in Evolve, but I'm on all platforms. I also have a Facebook group or community, I like to call it, and it's Better You Community on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. And if you join that Facebook group, you might just see me in there because I'm part of it. So go ahead and join that Facebook group and let's say hi to each other. Let me know that you're there. If you joined because of this live, let me just say hi, Tammy, so I know that you joined. Okay. Any other advice or parting words or anything else you want to share that we did not cover? Or you just want to share something else?
I just like to say, start your journey today. We all say, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. I'll wait till tomorrow. I'll wait till the beginning of the week. I'll wait till the beginning of the month. Don't put it off. Start today. You already know what you've been facing, what you have been dealing with, and it's no day like today than to get started.
Mm-hmm. She is exactly right. On point. Hit it on the nail. Told you exactly the process of what to do. So we got you. We got you. We got you. So get you a coach if you are looking to go through a transformation. We cannot do it alone. Doing it alone, you are setting yourself up for failure, because there's some things that you just have to hear, like Damika said, from another perspective. You are the God of all thinking. People have different experiences. They interact with people differently. So seeing it from the outside helps you go inside. Ooh, I like that. Ooh,
Absolutely.
I like that. Don't be stealing my words out there. All right, Damika. So I want to thank you so much for coming on here and spending this time with me. It's been great having you and having our conversation.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you later. Everybody say bye. All right, everyone. How is everyone feeling? Did you feel that? Did you get a real good understanding of what you have to go through a transformation? It's not all glitz and glams. There's some things you got to deal with, and then you align your core, get to know who you are, and then align those with what you want your life to look like. That is the key. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Damika. She shared a lot of valuable information. And make sure, I know on Facebook, and if she's on Instagram and she can still hear me, she can go to Instagram and drop the link also in the comment. But I know on Facebook, we will be dropping that link when this is over. So make sure you hit that link to get that what? $4.99 to a better you. It's personal health, self-care, tips, tricks, and things to do. You can't buy any self-care for $4.99. So make sure you go and grab that and read through it and pick the things that align with what your lifestyle, align with what you want, your lifestyle. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next Thursday. Have a transformative day. Stay open to what? Awareness. And what are we going to do? We're going to let the unknown of the possibilities come rolling in. I'll see you next week. Bye.